Ingredient Idol, people. Woohoo! We have arrived. We have arrived. That's right. Everybody's favorite fun time ruckus game show here at SupplySide West 2024. We are going to discover the winners of the best in class new ingredients of the year. New ingredients, we say that you had to have launched the ingredient between January 1st, 2023 and when the submissions were due. So basically the last year and a half, give or take, right? My name's Todd Runstead. I'm the content director for SupplySide Supplement Journal. We are the SupplySide people, the title formerly known as Natural Products Insider. So this is how we're going to roll. I'm going to introduce our judges. We have 3 judges on the panel who are going to. This is a juried competition to find out who who the winner is going to be. Each of our contestants is going to come out. They're going to give a 3-minute elevator pitch. The judges are going to pepper them with questions for 3 minutes. The judges will then confer for a minute. While the judges are conferring for a minute, I'm going to come back out and we have the People's Choice Awards. The People's Choice Award winner goes to whoever gets the loudest cheer. Hashtag more cowbell. Rumor has it there's a cowbell. Does anyone have we have a cowbell. All right. We need to practice for this People's Choice Awards here. Not just cowbell, but come on, people. Pretend you're the winner. Let's hear you crowd out. Now, as any MC will tell you, I have to say, you can do better than that. We want to attract some more people in here. More cowbell! I know I'm getting a little excited. All right, our judges here, our first judge, we're going to go ladies first. We have Diana Morgan. She is the VP of Science and Regulatory Affairs from Nutrabolt. She is the impresario of the What's Up with Sups party session, which is, I think, tomorrow night. Diana Morgan, ladies and gentlemen. And number 2, we have our marketing savant here from Market Well Nutrition. We have Douglas Lynch. Doug's feeling a little hoarse now, so we'll forgive him, but it's fine. And our third judge here, we have the herbal pharmacist, David Foreman. Now, Dave is a formulator extraordinaire. He consults supplement companies who are trying to figure out, we have the science, we need to be able to explain this to the marketing people at supplement brands, we need to know how to communicate. David is the great communicator. In fact, he's also our monthly columnist for SupplySide Supplement Journal. We have our digital magazines that come out once a month. The great thing about digital magazines, they're on your screen just like everything in your life is, because who needs paper anymore? And you download them for free. The advertising companies get the leads. And so that's the value proposition for advertising. We cover a different health condition every month. December coming up, we're going to do vision health. We will be covering aging. We will be covering performance. We do indeed cover women's health. So this is what we do. Very exciting. All right, so I'm talking a little quickly here because, like I said, we're running this like a Swiss watch. We got to keep on time here. If anyone goes over, you will hear the beep, the buzzer. Just like on real TV. All right. In the aging category, contestant number 1 from Bioenergy Life Sciences, the Ribose people, with their contestant this year is Reagev. And I give you Dr. Michael Crabtree, Director of Scientific Affairs and Product Development, Bioenergy. Michael, come on up here. Give us your pitch. You got 3 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I want to talk about 3 things. Thank you for the judges and attendees for inviting us all. This is actually my second time doing this, but we want to talk about the NAD space and changing the conversation from quantity to quality. We want to talk about sustainable NAD in the blood, not just the amount of NAD that you can make at any one given time. And we would like to talk about that in the context of ATP, glutathione, and the other parameters that go along with anti-aging. There are 3 parameters, okay, that are generally associated with anti-aging that are fundamental to biology. That is ATP, glutathione, NAD+. So we have formulated a product that can address all 3 of those at one time. Single turnkey product, perfect. Okay. Number 2, sustainability. Other NAD precursors are all about how much NAD can we produce at one time. We're saying how much is a moderate and elevated amount of NAD, how long can you keep that sustained for an extended period of time. And number 2, how can you enhance mitochondrial function, cellular energy, and bioenergetics, for which Bioenergy D-ribose has been notified to do for about 35 or 40 years. So we have taken a patented combination of D-ribose and nicotinamide, and we have put it together into a water-soluble format that is good for food, bev, and just about anything that you can put inside of a capsule, tablet, or any other nutraceutical application. And you can address all of these factors in a single turnkey solution to anti-aging. You can put it in cosmetics. You can put it in anything that you can use to address any sort of free radical generating exercise in biology. And again, it is the fundamental energy current of when you're dealing with NAD, ATP, and glutathione, you're dealing with the universal. Okay, the order of priority in the death of a cell is ATP declines first, glutathione declines first, NAD second, and ATP third. Thank you.
Ready, go.
Okay, so the first question I had is around the science behind this. Have you guys conducted any clinical trials?
Yes, we have. We have a 20-subject pilot clinical trial that was published in Nutrients in 2022, and we have a 28-subject extension on that clinical trial that was published. Well, it went unpublished, but it's published in the form of patents and so forth in 2023.
Okay, and what were the main outcomes of the clinical trials?
The main outcomes were in the first, let's deal just with the 20-subject pilot trial. We're dealing with a 15% increase in NAD across 7 days, a 12% increase in glutathione across the same 7 days, about the 12% increase in ATP across 7 days, a 10% reduction in the stress hormone cortisol, and a measurable impact on the throughput of glucose. So it was a reduction of postprandial glucose also without statistical significant increases in insulin. So you actually increase the throughput of the glucose, postprandial blood glucose in the subjects during exercise, and then of course enhancing the glutathione by also about 12%. So
Okay.
those 5.
Awesome.
So marketing is all about story. So tell me, do you think longevity as a category is one that's going to be the category that everybody wants to get into?
Yes, I do. I think that longevity should probably be rephrased as the increase in health span. Where in biology, they're making this distinction between chronology and biological aging. I mean, the reality is you can't really slow down time. It's going to flow through everybody, but you can increase the length of time that we're all healthy. The length of time that you can perform, the length of time that you can process anything metabolically, the length of time that your skin looks good, all of these markers that are visible and external to human biology, that health span, the way that you look, the way that you feel, the way that you move, kinetically, I mean, all of those things can be improved, but that's the difference between health span and then anti-aging. So.
What about safety studies? Safety studies?
Safety studies?
Yeah.
So Bioenergy Ribose has had safety done on it. Our pilot trial in the Ryajev study was an actual safety study. So we actually used this as an opportunity to feed, to use a very high dose of the product to make sure that what we were recommending would be safe at any dose. And then in our second 28-subject dose, we cut that in half and then just determined that over a longer period of time, you would essentially get the same results.
And what is the dose? Like how large of a dose is it to get the results you're looking for?
Starting at our bottom recommended dose would be 750 milligrams. It's safe all the way up to 3 or 4 grams.
Have time for one more or no? No? Okay.
Thank you, Michael. There we have Bioenergy Life Sciences with Ryajev. Can you guys all see this clock? You can, okay. Next up, we have from Futureceuticals, Cognita IQ, Randy Wexler. He is VP of Head of R&D.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right. Take it away, Randy.
Yeah, so there's so many elements to the problems of aging. It's not really just one thing, it's a host of things. But actually, if you had to identify one thing to work on, the thing to focus on that's most important, people are most concerned about, I think it's really the brain. It's cognitive decline, which is why I think maybe the product that's up that is focused on brain performance maybe is the most deserving of recognition, perhaps. So that's Cognitique. That's our ingredient. I want to quickly talk about what it's about. It is an extract of whole coffee fruit. Doesn't have any caffeine in it, so it's non-stim. decaffeinated. It's natural. It's low dose, 100 or 200 milligrams gets the job done based on our published research, and we have a lot of published research. And it is upcycled. So it comes from whole coffee fruit, of course, something that was discarded traditionally by the coffee industry to the tune of hundreds of metric tons every year, a pile of trash that's partly diverted to make our product. It's great. So what does it do? So Cognitique modulates brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, key neuroprotein essential to the brain, and we know that it declines as people age. So it's a perfect target, of course, for a healthy aging population. A lot of times people speculate about what it means to have something decline as you age. What are the ramifications? You don't have to speculate for BDNF. There actually was a clinical study published, followed thousands of people for decades. They measured BDNF levels and health outcomes. And the thing you need to know is that declines in BDNF were highly associated with very serious cognitive disease. So we don't talk about disease in our industry, but what you need to know is that if your BDNF levels are declining, you have a much greater risk of a serious cognitive decline. And that's why our product, Cognitique, is designed to really attack that core problem. I wanted to also mention, maybe for just 10 seconds or so, some functional outcome studies as well, because we just had a study published a couple of months ago in Nutrients. It was a cognitive assessment. We took about 120 people, and we basically measured their cognitive performance on some measures. We saw improvements of accuracy in a single dose, fast-acting, 25% improvement in accuracy, which is really nothing bad. That's pretty good. But it's actually not as cool as I think the outcome that I'm most proud of, which is really an 80% decline in, I'll call, decision-making measure that was in that study. Very significant. We think that's a feel-it type of measure to be that high, and we were very proud of that outcome. I wanted to mention, also maybe our market opportunity. 800 million doses of this product has been sold since the beginning of last year, and we think that's really just the tip of the iceberg for the opportunity for a product like this.
Randy, nice job nailing it in 3 minutes exactly. Doug, why don't you take the first question here?
So if I have a supplement on that front panel of that bottle, what are the 3 bullet points you're going to say that are going to differentiate you from everybody else in this category?
Yeah, I think it's BDNF. It's going to be supplementing BDNF. It's going to be fast-acting improvement in decision making, and probably a focus on working memory. It's a new concept, but I think it's something that's coming really into being. It's this decision-making benefit that people get that I think is really unique and you don't see in other products.
And what's the hardest question you've been asked by a customer on this product?
I think we struggle most, with the fact that it's from coffee fruit. So I think people are oftentimes confused about coffee, which is known to provide a stimulation of the caffeine, and our product, which is decaffeinated. So we sometimes struggle with people not understanding that coffee fruit is a very different thing than coffee.
Thank you.
Not even my space, but I hear fair trade is a big thing when it comes to coffee. Obviously, your fruit is not part of the coffee that people are drinking, but it's the beginning process, right? So what about fair trade with your product? Yeah.
So it is fair trade certified. So we do focus on that, and I think we're very focused on the communities where the coffee is grown.
And I actually have 2 questions. They're slightly different. The first is the regulatory status. What is the regulatory status? Is it an ODI? Do you have like a self-GRAS affirmation?
Yeah, so it's a self-affirmed GRAS, but we did actually submit that to FDA. So we have an FDA no questions letter for that. So I think we followed basically the gold standard process.
That's awesome, checking the box. So you said it is from coffee fruit, which is different from the bean. Now, how does it work, if any, synergistically with caffeine?
So it does have a different mechanism. So I think we have postulated that it probably isn't something where it's the same mechanism as caffeine. You could combine them and you might see synergistic effects. We haven't tested that. I think a lot of our customers, sometimes they're choosing to have a non-stim solution, so we don't necessarily always like to have that combined with the stim option.
And then if we have time for one more question. So you mentioned that it does have acute benefits, which is really great for a lot of people that want that benefit right away. What about the long-term benefits? Are there different benefits long-term versus acutely?
Yeah, this material is interesting in that it has both acute and subchronic benefits. We have published clinical studies that are extending through 28 days that are basically, they're tested naive before they've had ingestion, and we've seen similar improvements in accuracy in that subchronic setup too, and that's published work.
Were these healthy individuals in your study?
I'm
Were
sorry?
they healthy individuals? Were they healthy individuals?
This study that's just published is in healthy individuals. We've also had studies on mild cognitively impaired people.
We are just nailing this, ladies and gentlemen. I know I'm a little excited. Randy, thank you so much. You can pass the mic down there. All right. Now, can everybody hear okay? I just want to make sure. Yeah. And can everyone up here, can you hear okay? Because I think they turned the monitor off. You guys can hear okay? Okay. All good. Yuval, come on up here. And we've got the Mayolac is the company, and Mayolactin is the ingredient. Yuval Appelbaum is the head of R&D. Come on up here. Tell us something we don't already know.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Hello, my name is Yuval. I'll be representing Mayolac here. So did you know that the secret to longevity actually lies in the first few days of life, specifically in breast milk? So in breast milk, we can actually find all the necessary proteins to support every system within our body. And have you heard of a concept called inflammaging? Well, inflammaging is a concept that describes that at the core of every condition that is age-related lies low-grade inflammation. Remarkably, in breast milk, we can actually find the specific proteins necessary to combat that inflammation, effectively turning back the clock on aging. So, how can we harness the power of breast milk? I'm here to tell you about that. At Mayolac, we created Maurica, our AI-driven platform that specifically identifies active proteins in natural sources like bovine colostrum. Maurica then compares those natural proteins to human breast milk by similarity, by amino acid chain, as well as the three-dimensional structure of the proteins, ensuring the highest biosimilarity possible, therefore the highest possible activity. And of course, we don't just use all the proteins in breast milk. Maurica actually studies millions of clinical data points to specifically pinpoint the proteins that will combat inflammaging, therefore reducing the problems that are caused by low-grade inflammation and promoting longevity. Maurica also allows us to actually create indication-specific formulations that can help support every part of our human body, thus actually promoting general health and general longevity. So just don't take my word for it. Come visit us at our booth at 6619 and be impressed by our clinical studies that we've created to show the efficacy of our product. Thank you.
All right, nail it. We get 45 seconds back in our lives. David,
Yeah.
why don't you go first? Let's alternate. Oh, you're not ready? Okay, go ahead.
So I'd love to hear a little bit more about the clinical trials.
Of course. So the product that is specifically for inflammaging is undergoing clinical trials at the moment. We should have results by Q1 or Q2 of 2025. But we do have preclinical trials already published, both in mice as well as on ex vivo trials. We've showed a significant decrease of inflammation.
Okay, and then as far as, so you have the preclinicals and you're working on clinicals in
Yes.
humans, and
In hu-
as far as the health status of the humans that you're working on, is it disease population? Is it healthy adult?
For inflammaging, we're actually working on healthy adults. So the adult population that usually sees that low-grade inflammation, most commonly found pretty much in any of the adult population. We're looking at healthy people to show decrease in CRP levels. So that would be the inflammation.
And then talking about the ingredient itself, so is this, you had mentioned it's a bovine colostrum. What are the dietary restrictions for someone that would be taking this ingredient?
So it's bovine colostrum derived. Our dosage is very low, but we do have an allergen for milk there. So other than milk allergen, there is no dietary restrictions. We have very low dosages.
Okay, and then if you guys don't have any other questions, as far as the
We're having fun here.
regulatory status.
Yeah.
So what would you consider this to be in terms of like a food supplement, or is it GRAS for dietary supplements? And then what is the acceptable dosage forms?
So we're sulfur-fumed grass, and colostrum as a product has been consumed through the entire history of humanity. Therefore, we don't actually have to prove any safety over that. Our process actually does not add any chemicals into the product, nor does it genetically engineer anything. Therefore, we're staying within the safety of colostrum itself.
Doug.
So talk to me about the delivery systems. How can you use malolactin in a finished product?
So malolactin is created to be consumed orally, and we actually have a delivery system that protects the functionality of our product, both in low pH as well as high temperatures. This is so that it can be effective even given through food, as well as through supplements, of course, capsules and sachets and gummies as well, which is a good indication for us.
And your dose per day. What is your dose per day?
Sorry?
Active dose per day.
That's it. That's all we have time for right now. We're going to leave you guys hanging on that final one. All right. There you have it. We have our first round up there. Judges, you have 1 minute to confer there. And while you're doing that, People's Choice Awards, hold on. All right. Bioenergy Life Science Reagev. Who liked that one the best? All right. And number 2, Futureceuticals Cognitic. Oh, we have a new front runner here. And third, we have Maolactin. We're going to go with the People's Choice Awards winner, Futureceuticals Cognitic. Where are you people? Where are you? Right there? Oh, hold on. Everyone duck. Here's another one. Ready? There we go. All right, nice grab. Hey, you're going to be on the softball team next time. All right, we have 19 more seconds, and the winner is from the judges. Not you, Doug. You're a little horse.
And it is Futureceuticals.
Futureceuticals. All right, we winners. We will take pictures afterwards. Hey, wait a minute. Why don't you come up right now and say a few words and thank your mother and your boss. Come on up here. You got about 30 seconds. You could raise above your head and be all triumphant here. Yes, that's the kind of thrill we have here on the show floor. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't really have a lot to say other than, it's very challenging to say anything intelligent in like 3 minutes. So it may appear as if we don't know exactly what we're doing, but you have to come talk to us more so we can be more entertaining and more clever than we can possibly be in just a 3-minute spiel where they're looking at you wondering when you're going to run out of time. So thank everyone. I probably should thank, our marketing department who gave me a list of like 10 words that I had to say in my 3 minutes, that it was all I had. So thank you for that. That was really nice as well.
All right, there you have it. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Round 1 is done. And now here we are in round 2. We're going to go with the performance. And our first contestant here from Friesland Campina with their Biotis Fermentis, Sally Romano. Come on up. You're the sales director, North America. Sally!
Hello, everybody. So, everybody knows that when you don't have any guts, you don't have any glory. So I'm here to talk to you today about a unique fermented solution for gut health. 175,000 people in the US participate in marathons per year. Very exhilarating for them. They complain of aches and pains and complications, cramps and fatigues, but very often gut health is not talked about. And 86% of them are actually having gut health complaints. As it relates to marathons, that means 150,000 people experiencing bloating, diarrhea, etc. Painful and annoying, embarrassing, and at number 1, it hampers athletic performance. Up until now, solutions to improve gut health have been simplistic. typically mixing one ingredient with another and basically dry blending things together and not making a cohesive matrix. Like anything in life, things work better when they work together. Friesling Campina is bringing the power of fermentation to performance nutrition. It's a complex ancient process and it's been used for many thousands of years. And it's the secret to many gut-friendly foods that we're all eating, including yogurt, kefir, and things like kimchi. And it's responsible for the creation of additional metabolites not found in unfermented foods. By taking whey protein, prebiotic GOS, and a probiotic culture and fermenting them all together, we're able to transform specialist ingredients into a unique, complete, holistic approach. Just what your gut needs for when maximizing athletic performance. This results in a one-of-a-kind of ingredient. There's nothing like it out there. Biotis Fermentis is a completely new approach to gut health, performance nutrition. It is backed by 2 US studies. One is a consumer study and the other one is a clinical trial, all done and published, but done at the University of Arizona with the sports teams down there. Our studies show that after taking Biotis Fermentis, athletes experienced improved physical well-being, high energy levels, and reported significantly reduced bloating compared to baseline levels. Our unique concept and its health benefits are supported by research and backed by science, making Friesling Campina a partner you can trust in the development of your innovative gut health products. So I showed some guts in being up here today, and I'm asking for you to give me the glory.
Sweet, and she's speaking with the British accent, which connotes authority. and
New
humor.
Zealand accent. Sorry.
Still Brit, right? Okay. David, why don't you go first?
I'm not going to be shy this time. So you had 2 studies. You mentioned, what were the number of participants in the non-consumer study?
I think there was about, was it 50, right? 50
Okay.
people.
And what is the time for the effectiveness to be realized?
It was a 3-week study, and over that time they showed improvement. Because it reduction in bloating and constipation. And some of the participants had no underlying health conditions, and other ones had a bit of upset.
So the question I had, you had mentioned that one of the ingredients that goes into the fermentation is a whey protein. So
Yeah.
a whey protein can, in some individuals, cause digestive distress, and also, if people are sensitive to, milk-derived ingredients. What is the allergen statement for something like this?
It is dairy-based, but the fact when we fermented it together, that was the whole effect, was reducing the after effects that taking just whey protein alone happens with whey protein alone.
And then just a question on top of that, because so say you wanted to supplement your whey protein with this. Could you use, like a 30-gram serving of something like this and get the amount of protein that you want in addition to the gut health benefits? Or how does that work?
It's a 15-gram dose for the effect, but then you can either put it in in all different formats, but you can put it in a sachet, or you can put it in a tub and put more whey protein with it. Just depends how you want to present it.
Got it. Thank you.
Would it work on a person who's a weekend warrior
Yeah.
and not a pro athlete, which is a niche market?
Yeah, definitely, because I think a lot of those people, and I'm a bit of a weekend warrior myself, even I may not look like it, but I am. So, taking a lot of protein, they're making their smoothies, they're, consuming a lot of whey protein. So yeah, definitely. And just the general population, everybody's, we know about the gut-brain axis, everybody's having gut health issues.
Is it priced only for the crazy athlete that's willing to pay anything?
It's for anybody. Anybody can take it. It will help anybody with their gut health.
No,
What about the price per day?
Pardon?
Cost and use, price per day.
I don't have that off the top of my head, and we know that we don't talk about that in a public forum like this.
All right, David, you get the last 20
We
seconds.
can take this offline, Doug.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to know the cost per serving, which is I think what Doug just asked. So we're good.
Yeah, we can negotiate that. I'm in sales, so that's all up to the negotiation. Tell me how much you're going to buy.
All right, that's good. There we Boy, you gotta like to hear that. Sally Romano, thank you very much. Friesland
Thank you,
Campina,
judges.
Biotis, Fermentus. All right, next up, Angie Rimmel, Marketing Communications Manager from Gelita with the ingredient Peptendor. Here she comes. She's a veteran. She's going to nail this. I could just feel it from here.
On your mark, get set. Judges and Supply Side West attendees, do you have the stamina to race to the stratosphere? I do. I'm Angie with Gelita, and I'm excited to introduce to you my new performance training partner, Peptendor. Peptendor is the latest collagen peptide innovation from Gelita to address the white space in the sports nutrition market for endurance performance. Endurance athletes are underserved for a long-term solution for their training regimen, as most solutions are based on carbs and electrolytes for the short-term energy boost during the race. For endurance athletes, milliseconds and stamina is the difference between last place and the gold medal. Peptendor has been proven to enhance performance for faster speeds and longer distances, making it the transformative training partner. Now, how do we know this? Peptendor is supported by 2 scientific published studies for both men and women. In 2 placebo-controlled trials, men and women consumed 15 grams of Peptendor for 12 weeks, could run faster for longer distances than in 1 hour than those who took the placebo. They also showed improved energy metabolism. So what's in it for the brand owner? Well, differentiate your sports nutrition portfolio with this unique solution, catapult your market position.
All right, there you had it.
Okay. I am not done.
That pregnant pause
I
had
have
me.
more reasons. Create revenue through customer loyalty with Peptendor as athletes continue to consume during their long-term training regimen. Support your structure function claims and your product messaging with scientific substantiation. Peptendor is endorsed by world-class athletes, their testimonials, and approved by the World Anti-Doping Association. Judges, Supply Side West attendees, industry. Peptendor is not just an ingredient, it is a movement towards improved performance and endurance. If you're an innovative leader, get ahead of the competition with this unique, groundbreaking ingredient. Join Gelita in our mission to empower athletes and fitness enthusiasts worldwide. Be a winner, vote for Peptendor, and race ahead.
All right. Angie spoken like a true marketing communications manager right there. All right, let the peppering of the questions begin. David, come on. I think you get first again.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I like going first. How does this differ from, you have a lot of different peptide products. How is this different than any of the others?
This particular peptide, this special collagen peptide, is bioactive, different from bioavailable. It's bioactive, stimulating the muscles to triggering the muscles to for protein synthesis.
So it's not just like hydrolyzed whatever and you get everything, it's just a very specific peptide.
It's a very specific peptide.
Okay. Just want to be clear. All right, thank you.
When do you start to feel the effects?
Pardon me?
When do you start to feel the effects?
Oh, you take it during your training regimen. So you start right away, and it just gradually, as you train, you will notice that you can run faster, longer. You're training, you're testing, you'll see that compared to your previous trials.
Can you give me some structure function claims that are going to go on the bottle?
For the structure, you can go faster for longer distances. The studies have showed athletes can have had at least up to 14% increased speed. Is that something
Nice.
you're
Very
looking
nice.
for? Okay, running longer distances.
And then you had mentioned, I think you said it's a bovine peptide. Can you talk a little bit about the sourcing and the ethical treatment of the cows?
No one ever kills a cow for collagen peptides. So as far as we are upcycling leftover bones and that. As far as your other part of your question was, what is the sourcing? These are specially processed peptides that by the time you get to the point where it is it's optimized, let's say, the type 1, 2, 3, what source it comes from, doesn't matter. What matters is the molecular weight, how it interacts with the cells.
And then I just have a second question about the science and the studies. So this works over time. Do you have any planned studies on this ingredient compared to some other performance ingredients like a creatine or a very older ingredient?
Well, at Gelita, we're always innovating, looking to understand, and I wouldn't be surprised if there is some planned science, but that's in the innovation pipeline.
Thank you.
Do you have any patents, IP?
Do we have any
Can you
patents?
summarize IP?
On what part?
Intellectual property on the product.
Okay, we are, let's see, Peptendure is registered, has a registered trademark.
Registered trademark.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And there you have it. Angie, thank you very much with the Gelita
Thank you.
Peptendure.
Be a winner.
All right, next up here, finally here in the performance category, Jordan Raffel, Director of Clinical and Product Development for Red Leaf Biologics, the Redaxin. Here we go, Jordan.
Thank you. I'm excited to tell you all about Redaxin. It's a branded ingredient from Red Leaf Biologics. Redaxin is the product of a 1 in 2 million natural anomaly in sorghum leaf. So our proprietary sorghum was discovered at the University of Kentucky. And this sorghum undergoes a dramatic biological transformation, turning the traditionally green sorghum leaf to a deep red as it accumulates a rare polyphenol complex. This complex includes 3-deoxyanthocyanidins. This is a class of polyphenols that's unique to sorghum. It's been well studied in the literature, but has never been available at any kind of commercial scale because sorghum only produces it in tiny quantities until now. So we just finished our first human clinical study on Redaxin in the area of exercise recovery. So this was a delayed onset muscle soreness study looking at improvements in maximum voluntary isometric contraction as well as muscle pain and soreness. The study included a 250 milligram and a 500 milligram Redaxin dose compared to placebo. This was a randomized double-blind placebo-controlled study, gold standard. It was performed at the University of Kentucky. What we found is that both the 250 and the 500 milligram Redaxin doses outperformed the placebo in terms of muscle output during the recovery period, 4 and 5x respectively. We also found that both Redaxin doses improved muscle soreness, 23 and 27% respectively, while the placebo had no improvement during recovery. We were really excited about these results, and they have just been submitted for peer review publication. But we are not done. We are currently running another gold standard human clinical in the area of cognitive health that will also include markers for inflammation and immunity, because as we know, performance is not just physical, it's mental too. We are also designing future clinicals in areas like gut health, joint health. Our goal is to support Redaxin with the absolute best, highest level science possible. In summary, natural products with all of the features and benefits of Redaxin simply do not exist. It is derived from a truly novel biomass, a plant that you have never seen before because it's never existed before. It simultaneously modulates oxidative stress, immunity, and inflammation at a clinically validated dose of just 250 milligrams. It's a formulator's dream. It's water soluble, it's pH light and thermal stable. It's got a mild tea-like aroma and flavor that doesn't require any masking. The product is self-affirmed GRAS, it's non-GMO, it is kosher, vegan, halal. It is grown exclusively in the US with local farmers using sustainable, scalable agriculture. Thank you.
Nice job there, Jordan, nailing it in under 3 minutes here. Dana, you want to get this party started here?
Certainly. Okay, so can you just tell me a little bit more about the clinical trials? How long was the duration of the trial?
Yep, it was 2 weeks of supplementation. So basically 2 weeks leading into it, then baseline testing, exercise-induced muscle damage, and then the participants came back each of the next 3 days, so over the course of 24 to 72 hours for daily testing.
Okay, and that was a crossover study, so that you had the same participants for placebo as you did for the...
No, it was parallel design.
Okay, got it.
Doug.
So, how is the sorghum leaf different from the sorghum that we all used to know? Basically, the grain.
Yeah. So traditionally, sorghum has been consumed for the grain. The leaf has mostly been a byproduct, or sometimes used as silage or feed for animals. This is where the 3-deoxyanthocyanidins are known to exist, but the plant only produces them as a defense mechanism. So it only produces them in very small amounts locally when the plant is under stress. And so what happened in our plant essentially is that there was a non-GMO variant that the plant went haywire and it started producing that polyphenol complex throughout the whole leaf. So traditionally the leaf is not used. For us, we exclusively use the leaf and we harvest from that and extract to create our Redaxin ingredient.
So your first study was on muscle health, basically. What prompted you to want to now do a study on cognition? Was there, what drives that pony?
Yeah, so basically we were looking at potential benefit areas that are underlied by the physiologies of oxidative stress, inflammation, and immunity. So honestly, the first study that I would have loved to run would be on healthy aging, but there is no sort of agreed upon, here's what a study design would look like there. So we were looking through the literature, we were looking at other things that were impacted by polyphenols, as well as some of the existing literature on 3-deoxyanthocyanidins, but none of it is in human participants. And so cognition was an area where we see decline in potential improvements through oxidative stress. And then same thing with sports recovery, you're going to see a lot of oxidative stress due to the exercise. So we're looking at all these different areas that are interrelated, and we hope that this ingredient can be a platform across multiple benefit areas.
How about intellectual property?
Intellectual property. So the plant is protected by a PVP that was discovered at the University of Kentucky. We are the exclusive license holders of that. We also have IP on the composition of matter. It's a really interesting extract. As we pull it out, it comes out in a polymerized matrix. So it includes the 3-deoxyanthocyanidins. There are other polyphenols in there as well, and it's all polymerized with some protein and carbohydrate from the plant. So it is a unique fingerprint that we have there as well.
All right, perfect. That's good. Thank you. All right. Further performance category, ladies and gentlemen, it's the People's Choice Award portion of the... All right, while the judges are sitting there, let's get that 1 minute clock turning. All right, our first one up there, we have Friesland Campina Biatus Fermentis. Reasonable, reasonable. All right, now we have Gelida Peptindor. We have a front runner. And now we have Red Leaf Biologics Redaxin. Oh, I think we know how this is going to go, folks. It's going to be Gelida Peptindor. You are the winner of the People's Choice Award. Here, you get one more. There you go for being nearly ordained. All right. The judges still have 20 seconds. That was so darn efficient. We are efficient up here. Are you guys ready? And the winner is...
Red Leaf Biologics.
Red Leaf Biologics! Woo! Hey, what happened to the trophy? Oh, there it is. Yay! All right, come on up.
I just want to say thank you to the Red Leaf team. We are small but mighty. There are about 8 of us in the company, and we handle everything from the agriculture of growing this crop to all of our manufacturing, processing, and then all of the science that we've done. So we are a small team, but we do a lot, and we hope to continue to keep doing it. And thank you, everyone, for your support.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. This is all very fun. Now we have the women's category, a very expensive one. There's lots to talk about here. We have our 3 contestants, and our first one from Church and Dwight / Arm & Hammer, you know those people, with the Evolved Prebiotics 3613-1, Marlena Hidley, Amy Westcott, Director of Marketing and Operations Manager. Come on down.
Welcome to Evolved Health Talk. Today we're featuring our women's health guest speaker here, Amy, who hails from the Science Hearted Center in Waukesha, Wisconsin, where there are more than 100,000 strains of probiotics. Fantastic. Welcome, Amy.
Thanks, Marlena. It's great to be here today.
So let's talk a little bit about how Arm & Hammer has delved into the nutritional ingredient space with this women's product, Evolved Health Probiotics 3613.
Yeah, so this is a strain we're really proud of. We think it's going to have an impact on the women's health market and really open up a space that needs to be opened up for women.
Yeah, fantastic. And so we know women's health is a huge category. We saw from the latest NBJ report that 70% of women are actually looking for dietary supplements that are specifically tailored for women's health. And at the same time, we know from the NIH report that 50 to 60% of women actually have a UTI sometime in their lifetime, and 26% of them actually have a recurring UTI within 6 months of treatment. So let's talk about how Evolved Probiotics helps with that.
Sure. So Evolved Probiotics 3613 has a unique defense mode of action. So it has the ability to produce lactic acid, which obviously helps to bring down and maintain that pH in the vaginal tract. It has the ability to produce hydrogen peroxide as well, so again, helping to prevent against those vaginal pathogens. And most importantly, in our opinion, it has the ability to produce Ruterin. So it's a strong antimicrobial compound that has the ability to combat both bacterial pathogens, but also against organisms like Candida albicans, which are common causes of yeast infections.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Have you done any clinical studies, or can you share with us any of the science behind it?
We have. So we finished up a clinical study in about the last 6 months. We had, of course, our control and treated group. They were on the product for 6 months on a daily dose. Most exciting thing that we saw was that the group that was taking our 3613 probiotics saw a significant delay in the onset of the first UTI. So our placebo group saw their first UTI on an average about 30 days, where our treated group didn't see a UTI until 90 days. So for those that are having chronic and recurring infections, you can see why this would be such an important aspect for them.
That's tremendous. Thanks for sharing that. So for all the product developers in the audience, you're probably wondering what kind of applications 3613 can go into. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. So obviously capsules are going to be an easier one for Lactobacillus reuteri. The other place where we think this could be really beneficial would be mixed with some sort of cranberry extract, or also in some sort of stick pack, right? So something easy you can carry with you, dump into your drink as you go, and it's there when you need it.
That's great. So we have 25 seconds left. Tell us why Evolved Probiotics 3613 should be the Ingredient Idol winner.
Sure. So obviously Arm & Hammer has a very long history of strong products, and this is just another one that goes into that portfolio. We do a lot of work at the Science Hearted Center, and this is a strain that's really backed by scientific integrity.
Great. Thanks so much for being here today.
All right, judges, let's take it away. Hold on. Yeah, okay, there you go. David.
So I have a couple questions on the population. The people that participated, were they women that had already had a history of UTIs?
Yeah, that's a great question. So our initial inclusion criteria was that the women had to have 3 culture-confirmed UTIs in the 6 months prior to starting the study. This was started right before COVID, so obviously you can imagine that enrollment was impacted by COVID, and so we did end up halfway through having to reduce that to 2 culture-confirmed UTIs prior to the study.
And what age? What age?
Anywhere from 18 to 65.
All right. Sorry, I'm good right now.
What's the most difficult question you've been asked by a customer on this product?
That's a great question. I think one of the things we get most frequently is, right, of course, what differentiates it. And so we're using that aspect of the delay in onset of UTI. So we can say you might have a significant increase in symptom-free days, right? But in addition, it is that aspect of how do you go about utilizing this product, as it is a lactic acid bacteria, so stability, right? So heat treatment and things like that is of concern.
And how do you talk about infections in your marketing when it comes to structure function claims?
As far as infections right, because you cannot say UTI, so I'm assuming that's where you're going with this,
That's
right?
where I'm going.
Yep, exactly. So that's why we do think it is important to be able to potentially combine this with some sort of cranberry extract. Now you can utilize that UTI claim, but why we also say you might use something like a significant increase in symptom-free days, right, and leave the UTI phrase out of it.
So I'm going to go a totally different direction. I know this product is primarily studied for UTIs, but you also mentioned that it reduces lactic acid. Does that have any benefits on performance and training?
Oh, that's a great question. Not something we've really looked at, but I think we do know it's transient through the gastrointestinal tract, right? So I'm not sure if it would be there long enough to be able to have that effect on the lactic acid or performance, but that is a great question.
So I'm all into the subject. I mean,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
I've done a lot of work in the UTI space. I know that sounds really twisted, but hey, if you knew me, you'd be like, this is par for the course. So the other thing is, as part of your survey with these women, sexual activity plays a huge role in UTIs.
It absolutely does.
That's why I asked about the age
Yep.
earlier, because if I'm older, I'm more likely to have one. But so what about
Right.
sexual activity? Was that
Yeah.
tracked?
also a great question, and again, as you can imagine, during COVID, that changed things, and it is something we did discuss after the study. So primary endpoints, we're looking at significant differences in the number of UTIs between our control and treated group, of course, right? Throughout the whole study, we only had 11 UTIs total, and we do believe that sexual activity, you had the ability to pee or go to the bathroom when needed during COVID, you're not stuck at work, so we do believe that that had an impact as well.
Thank you.
Great question.
All right, thank you, thank you. We have Marlena Hidley, Amy Westcott Church, and Dwight Armenhammer, Evolve Probiotics 3613. Thank you so much. All right, coming up, our next contestant here in the women's category, Tom Deal, Senior Technical Director with Vesta Nutra LipoQuest Pearl Tomato. Take it away, Tom.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tom Deal, Senior Technical Director at Vesta Nutra.
Hold that up a little higher there, Tom. Speaking to the mic.
Here to present LipoQuest Pearl Tomato as an ingredient idle supplement for women's health. Imagine an ingredient that enhances skin health from the inside out, announcing liposomal pearl tomato. Derived from non-GMO white tomatoes, this extract is rich in colorless carotenoids. While most carotenoids allow pigmentation, pearl tomatoes' colorless carotenoids stunt melanin synthesis while also being an antioxidant, making it perfect fit for the growing beauty from within trend in skincare and wellness. Scientifically speaking, Vesta's research reveals pearl tomatoes' exceptional capacity to inhibit melanin production by up to 50%. Vesta's research with in vitro skin cell cultures demonstrates pearl tomato activities as a melanin inhibitor and depigmentation agent, similar to agents like kojic acid and glutathione as a gentle natural solution for fading dark spots, reducing fine lines and wrinkles, and providing a more youthful appearance with no synthetic compounds. Pearl tomato is promoted for skin whitening, brightening, and dark spot lightening, with added benefits of moisturizing and enhancing skin suppleness while being an antioxidant with comprehensive systemic skin health care. So, pearl tomato is already proven to be an effective product. Vesta is now taking pearl tomato to a higher level with liposomal technology. The liposomal technology enhances the pearl tomato product with stability, bioavailability, absorption, and flexibility. Our innovation has been to combine pearl tomato with liposomal technology. Liposomal pearl tomato is an innovative new product to make a great product even greater. Vesta's LipoQuest liposomal technology coats ingredients in a liposomal bilayer that simulates the membrane of cells, allowing for enhanced stability and distribution and an over threefold increased absorption versus standard formulations, as demonstrated with our work with the IU School of Medicine research. The liposomal coating enables pearl tomato to deliver its potent effects deep within the skin while acting as an anti-pigmentation agent. From a market perspective, liposomal pearl tomato aligns perfectly with modern consumer demands for natural, effective, scientifically backed ingredients. As more individuals seek high-performance products with comprehensive skin health benefits, liposomal pearl tomato emerges as quite unique. By pairing with LipoQuest, the pearl tomato's ingredients are amplified, making it an ideal addition to an premium beauty or wellness lineup. See us in booth 2838 and get your own pearl tomato, please.
All right, Tom, you almost nailed it right there. I love hearing that buzzer. It's kind of fun. We're so darn efficient here. All right, who's got the first question? Sounds like Doug.
So what's the percentage that you've tested in your trials in terms of the actual formulation? What was the percentage of active?
5%. We used a 5% formulation.
Do you find anybody pushing back because that's a high level? Do you think it's the right level? How does it do in the formulation when you're talking to cosmetic companies?
We have had some questions. We also offer a 10%, so we can provide any formulation that the person wants, but we are confident in our 5% level.
And where are you sourcing your tomatoes?
That's a good question, and it's proprietary. Okay. All of our products are made in the USA, so it is made in the United States.
One last question. What was it about that tomato that made you go to that tomato versus the ones that we normally have on our salads?
It's the colorless carotenoids. In the metabolism of the melanin, you start with the phytoene and phytofluene that then metabolize down into the carotene and the lycopene, which gives the tomato its bright red color. But these tomatoes are stuck with white, colorless carotenoids, and therefore resulting in the lighter skin complexion for consumers.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So this is very interesting to me that it whitens your skin. So I have two questions. First, the regulatory status. Have you guys submitted anything to FDA for FDA grass? Do you have self-affirmed grass?
We expect that it's a tomato, so it's a food product, so we plan perhaps a GRAS designation. But other than that, the product is registered, and we're going to go from there.
And then the clinical trials. So can you talk a little bit about the study itself, like how many participants and how long did they see the results, and how significant were the results versus placebo?
Yeah, again, our in vitro results show a 50% reduction in pigmentation, but we're currently planning the clinical research studies, double-blind studies with a number of participants.
Well, I was going to ask about women, but I can't now.
Sure, you can, Doug.
Sure, no, seriously. For me, this topic is women's health, and making the assumption that beauty from within is for women. As a man, I'm just joking about being offended, but I just, but without the human clinical studies, I struggle with the data. That's more of a comment than a question. I apologize, but.
Yes, it's important for men and women. Yes, it's ideal for women's health. But of course, your skin is the biggest organ in your body.
All right, David. Men are just supposed to age gracefully and look rugged, and then
Dude,
die with wrinkles and a cowboy hat on. All right, Tom Deal, Senior Technical Director, Vesta Nutra LipoQuest Pearl Tomato. Thank you, Tom. All right, last but not least here, we have wrapping up the women's category here, we have Komal Baldwa, the CEO of Waleria Health Tech with Asperus. Sounds like it's from asparagus. Take it away, Kamal. Here we go, wrapping it up here at Ingredient Idol 2024.
Thank you. Okay. So, hello everyone. Imagine a world where a natural ingredient could dramatically ease the journey of menopause for millions of women. This isn't just an ideal. It's a reality we have crafted with Asperus, a patent-pending botanical extract derived from the Shatwari root. Shatwari, often called as the queen of herbs in Ayurveda, has been trusted in Ayurvedic medicine for its nurturing effects on women's health through all the stages of the life. Merging the wisdom of Ayurveda along with the cutting-edge science, we have worked with the top experts, scientists, researchers, and Ayurvedic experts to refine each step into the root selections to the extraction. How have we got it different? Our extract has been standardized to Shatwarins, the main phytoactive constituent found in the Shatwari plant exclusively. We have a patent pending for the extraction process for enhancing the Shatwarins, and our ingredient has the highest concentrations of the Shatwarins, that is 5%, and is also backed by a study on menopausal women, where 85% of the women reported improvement in hot flashes and night sweats, though I'm sweating. Menopausal stress and daytime fatigue, a rarely discussed but very real challenge, was seen to improve. Women reported more feeling of energy and fewer feeling of tiredness with Asperus, while with the placebo group reported the worsening of these symptoms. Bladder weakness and vaginal dryness, the common issue with menopausal women, were also seen to be improved. Asperus helped in addressing the major 7 menopausal symptoms along with normalizations of the studied female biomarkers. Not only that, we also found that Asperus significantly showed greater ratings of the quality of life related to menopausal life, So what are the advantages? Our ingredient addresses the significant unmet needs of the growing, rapidly menopausal consumers, adding about 6,000 women per day or 2 million per year in the United States alone. These women often spend a third of their lifetime navigating this natural transition, and they are increasingly seeking for a herbal or a plant-based, scientifically validated and proven safe solutions. That's the place where we fit. Our team has definitely dedicated years developing the Asperus, and we have invested deeply into research, innovation, and we have...
That's all you get there, Komal. That's great. All right. Judges, who's going to start peppering Komal with some questions about Asperus?
How long did the product actually take to work in your patient group?
4.5 years.
And what about, one of the biggest concerns I always have when I'm talking about women's health and we're talking about menopause or PMS is the effect on hormones, because a lot of women have concerns like breast cancer patient would be cautious. So what about this extract and the impact on women's hormones?
Yeah, so we have seen the normalizations of the hormonal level, and since it's more like a Shatavari has been used and recommended in Ayurveda, so it balances the levels, not kind of increases or shoots it up.
I'm a huge fan of Shatavari. I think it's a great herb. So how would this extract compare to just a straight Shatavari whole herb?
Can you repeat that, please?
How would because this is an extract of
Yeah.
Shatavari.
Yeah.
How would this compare to the benefits of just Shatavari, the raw herb?
So as I said, we have standardized it to the Shatavarins. The others, the generic, is onto the saponin. So this helps in reducing the dosage and increasing the efficacy with the batch-to-batch consistency, delivering every time. And we have also filed a patent for increasing our Shatavarin levels. Shatavarins are only found into the Shatavari plants in compared to the saponins, which could be found in fenugreek and other plants that is available into the kingdom.
If it was discovered during traditional Ayurvedic medicine, how are you able to get a patent on this ingredient?
Can you please repeat?
How are you able to get a patent on this ingredient as it's from traditional medicine, Ayurvedic?
We have enhanced the Shatavarins, identified and enhanced the Shatavarins that is available, and for that we have filed a patent. We have filed a patent both in India and in the USA for that.
I really just love Shatavari. It's such a great Ayurvedic herb. And there's a lot of other benefits outside of the menopausal.
Yes.
So does it have all the other benefits that...
Yes, we have not clinically studied about that. We do plan to do that. That's there in the pipeline. Yes, it does. And that's why the Shatavari, if you break that Sanskrit word, it's Shat, which means 100, Vari, which means to cure 100 disease, or the 100 husbands power for the female.
She who has 100 husbands.
Yeah.
What other kind of ingredients would you suggest combining this with? I mean, granted, it works for one thing, but there's a lot of other symptoms that go along with menopause.
So if you talk about into the Ayurvedic herb, yes, as per the Ayurveda, there are certain herbs in which Shatavari has been combined with. So one of the one that really works best is fennel seeds, and even with the fenugreek, that really works well. With the Western herb, we have to experiment.
Super.
Love to hear that buzzer.
Thank you.
All right, thank you,
Thank
Komal
you.
Baldwa, CEO of Waleria Health Tech, with their Asperus. All right, kids. More cowbell. Did the cowbell people leave? All right. People's Choice Awards for the women's health category. Do we like the Church and Dwight / Arm & Hammer Evolved Probiotics 3613? We do have cowbell. That just makes me feel good. All right. Number 2, we have Vesta Nutra LipoQuest Pearl Tomato. Nice. Like to hear the rebel yell there. And now finally we have Waleria Health Tech's Asperus. Ooh, that's kind of tough. It's a split decision. I think we're going to go one more time. Arm & Hammer Church and Dwight Evolved Probiotics. I think the cowbell might swing the day here. Waleria Health Tech Asperus. More cowbell! Cowbell for the victory here for the People's Choice Awards. All right. And now, judges, what do you have to say here, Dan? I know
I have
you
to
like the
say,
shot of our-
I have to say, we felt like the audience. We really like both those ingredients very much, but we have to default. Not really. We're going menopause.
So
Yeah,
going
yeah,
with
yeah,
aspirin.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So we have a split decision. Come on
No,
up.
we don't. No, we don't. I'm just saying we were thinking both ingredients were awesome, but we definitely went on the menopause route.
We're
Yes.
agreed.
Yep. Sorry, I didn't mean to confuse you, Todd.
Wait, so which one? I'm sorry. Oh, it was. All right, come on up here. Sorry. My hearing, I can't quite hear up on stage. We don't have the monitors. So.
There's a supplement
It
for
could
that.
be me.
All right. We have a split decision. Komal, come on up here. Tell us one more beautiful thing.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
And namaste.
Yeah, perfect.
So I can say namaste.
That's good. All right. Thank you. That's okay. Yeah. Hey, can we get the 3 winners up here in the 3 different categories? That's it for another edition of Ingredient Idol 2024. We are here to honor the best-in-class ingredients in aging, performance, and women. We hope you had a good time here. We will open this up again next year. Stay tuned to Supply Side Supplement Journal for deadlines and dollar signs and all that stuff like that. All right, now let's get individual winners. Let's get one by one. What's that? All right. Hey, goodbye, everybody. Have a great show. Supply Side West 2024. Thank you for coming.